A Williston man died last night in a crash in western North Dakota. The Highway Patrol says the 63-year-old victim was driving a pickup truck that struck an unoccupied and parked semi-trailer. The pickup then veered into the oncoming lane of traffic and collided head-on with a dump truck. The pickup driver died as a result of the collision, which occurred near Newtown, North Dakota. The patrol did not identify the man and says the occupants of the dump truck were not hurt. Last week, a daring pursuit and standoff between police and one individual shook Jamestown like never before. 30-year-old Jerome Blum of Mandan, North Dakota, sped away on the interstate after being pulled over by a state trooper. Blum fled into the Jamestown district behind Gun and Reel Sports. After threatening to commit suicide with a loaded revolver for almost 2 hours, he dropped his weapon and was taken into custody. On Tuesday, KBJM Radio said Blum was indicted by a grand jury in connection with theft and burglaries in South Dakota on November 1st. In an even further look, Blum appears as also wanted for other crimes in Nebraska, Wyoming, and Colorado. Well, more than 100 reported traffic incidents have been reported across North Dakota after early winter weather systems blanketed many parts of the state with an inch or more of snow yesterday. Minot received several inches of the white stuff, while Grand Forks and Fargo saw around an inch of snowfall. The snow has led to slippery roads, which are the reason for the incidents, which range from cars sliding into ditches to multiple car accidents. In Minot alone, almost 60 accidents have been reported, and police in Grand Forks have received calls for more than 30 traffic accidents. Thankfully, only a few injuries have resulted from the many accidents, with no major injuries having yet been reported. Law enforcement and highway patrol officials say almost all of the accidents are a result of drivers driving too fast, and they urge people to take caution and slow down, especially in the snowy and icy areas. In Fargo, North Dakota, a bond has been set at $50,000 for a Minnesota man accused of trying to rob a McDonald's in downtown Fargo. The Fargo Forum reported that 30-year-old Andrew Salas was arraigned on a felony robbery charge at the hospital where he's being treated for cuts and serious burns. These injuries occurred from cooking grease a restaurant manager threw at Salas. Salas struck the manager in the head with his handgun several times, causing a gash that required staples. Federal law enforcement authorities arrested a man suspected of shooting at the White House. The arrest came yesterday afternoon at a hotel in Pennsylvania. The man, 20-year-old Oscar Ramiro Ortega Hernandez, is suspected of shooting a semi-automatic rifle at the White House on Friday night. After the Secret Service found at least one bullet which had struck the presidential residence, Mr. Ortega has a background of legal problems and reportedly has a history of unruly behavior and was reported missing by his family last month. He also has criminal records in Idaho, Texas, and Utah for a plethora of things. Regardless if Mr. Ortega shot at the White House or not, the facts are that gunfire was heard in the vicinity of the White House last Friday evening. An AK-47 was left behind, and one bullet was stopped by reinforced windows installed inside the glass at the White House, while another bullet was found outside. Meanwhile, President Barack Obama and First Lady Michelle Obama were away on Friday and are currently in Australia. And speaking of Australia, in Canberra, President Barack Obama and Australian Prime Minister Julia Gillard announced plans today for a new American military presence there. A deployment of 2,500 troops aimed to let it be known that the United States has intentions to counterbalance a rising China. Even though it is a smaller number of troops, this is the first long-term expansion of the American military presence in the Pacific since the end of the Vietnam War. In response to Mr. Obama's announcement, a foreign ministry spokesman issued a statement today that suggested the United States should focus on promoting development rather than building military alliances. Well, the weather outside is frightful, but so far it's been fairly delightful. In Jamestown, at least. And here's Jessica Gulseth to tell us more about that. Jessica?
Thanks, Johnny. Well, if you stepped outside this morning, you noticed the snow yet again. Just a light dusting that melted almost instantly. This afternoon, we saw a few flurries, and again, if you've been outside, you know it was windy out, making it feel colder. So try and stay covered. Get out the gloves and scarves or the earmuffs and wrap up tight. Tonight, we're going to see temperatures in the single digits. We're talking about 9 degrees tonight, Jamestown. But once Thursday morning hits and the sun begins to shine again, we'll see temperatures of about 34 degrees with a light breeze. Friday, again, temperatures in the mid to upper 30s with a slight breeze and another chance of snow. Friday night, as the snow picks up, we'll see a low in the low 20s. The Jamestown campus will kick off Thanksgiving break with a little snow on Saturday, a high of 20 for most of the day, and cooling down into the single-digit numbers again later in the evening. Sunday will be mostly sunny with a high in the mid-20s. It's getting colder, Jamestown, and getting cold quick. That's the weather for today. Now back to you, Johnny.
Thanks, Jessica. Tomorrow, the men's wrestling team is hosting a duel against Minnesota State University Moorhead. The Jimmies won their last home duel against the University of Regina and are looking to duplicate that feat tomorrow night. The meet will be held in the Hansen Center on the Jamestown College campus, and it begins at 7:00 p.m. 1.5 weeks ago, the Jimmie women's basketball team was riding high after an upset win over the then top-ranked Northwestern College. Now the Jimmies are looking for some answers after having lost 2 games in a row, including last night's home game against St. Cloud State. The Jimmies fell behind by 10 points at the end of the first half, shooting under 10% from behind the arc. Although they did outscore St. Cloud State in the second half, it just wasn't enough. Final score of the game was Jamestown College 70, St. Cloud State 77. Bridget Schooneman led the Jimmies in scoring with 14 points. Well, thank you for joining me this evening. Just a reminder to check out our website at www.jccollegian.com. As always, it's our pleasure at JCTV to connect the campus with the community. I'm Johnny Jerome. Good night, Jamestown.